So tell us how you guys got started.
Well, it all started back in 1995 as far as the monster truck business is concerned. I mortgaged some property that I had and bought my first truck. And as soon as I made the purchase, I think it was my first truck was $28,000. And as soon as I made the purchase, I found out I had nothing anybody really wanted to hire. So that's when the financial backstroke started. When we started spending money on engines and suspension, just so I could, and taking the engine out of the front and moving it to the back because that's what promoters thought they needed. That was the new fad. So that was the trucks they wanted to hire, and they went to the new comb suspension back then, and the nitrogen suspension got away from the leaf springs and the coil springs. So I had to go invest in that. And I soon found out I wasn't an engine builder too, because I think I was blowing an engine once a week. So so I was going backwards about $10,000 a week, and we finally got the bleeding stopped about, I don't know, 6 months into it. But my business really never did turn around until I met Dawn.
Until you met me.
And that's true. It's true. It was like difference between night and day. I mean, up till then we were just going backwards and backwards. And once I met her, then things started really kind of clicking and falling into place. And soon after that, I guess one of the best things that ever happened to our business, as far as the monster truck business, was our sponsor came along, Checker Shucks and Cragen Auto Parts, soon after, a couple of years?
A year and a half after we met.
After we met, and then with their financial backing and our determination to be one of the best in the business, we were able to move forward. And we don't like regressing, and even after we lost the sponsor, we still work just as hard and to stay on top.
I think just being a team that's married instead of just two guys racing a couple trucks, being a married team related a lot to the families. It related a lot to women, and you just noticed as women started driving, more women started coming to shows. You know, it wasn't just men taking their boys to shows. Now little girls were coming to see a girl driver, and now it's pretty much equal, men and women at all these events.
Mm-hmm. I think though our success also comes in as we're probably one of the busiest, if not the busiest, monster truck team in the business. Back in the early days, Dawn and I we had no shows to go to. Nobody really wanted to hire us, and then now we can literally run every week of the year except for maybe 2 weeks of December.
And that's by choice.
And that's by choice, because especially since sponsorship went away, we have to keep, it's an expensive sport, so we have to keep the cash flow coming in. But with all those 50 shows comes lots of experience, and I think that's what keeps us one of the best teams out there. It keeps us, I mean, we see everything from what old school stuff to new school. I mean, and what new people are trying, clear up to the backflip a couple weeks ago that a handful of people have pulled off, and so we gave it a shot and we're successful at it. But it keeps us moving forward with, I mean, when we run for a variety of different promoters who do a variety of different kind of racing and different freestyle obstacles, and it lets us see everything. So we're
Plus we never have time to get rusty.
We're totally prepared for the next show.
Weekend after weekend.
And we got a good group of people working for us. That keeps us, that keeps us fresh, and we've got numerous titles. You can look all around here. We have lots of television titles and lots of Team of the Year and a World Championship. And that, I would say those are some of our successes that we value.
I don't see anything for Husband of the Year yet. He's
And
been working on that.
And I honestly don't think you're ever going to see it. Not that I'm not trying. I just fall way short. Because, I mean,
Husbands have to be home more than a month a year to get
actually
that
just take her, I mean, it's all of her sisters' husbands that make it bad for the rest of us. They're
It's
all
really bad for him.
because
now,
they come home, they garden all night. You know, they work in their backyard. They cook. They cook. They clean. I don't think
He thinks he's the majority. He's the minority. He thinks that he's the only one, or no, he thinks they're the only ones that do that, and everyone else does what he does.
No, I don't know.
He's singled out. He has like 2 other monster truck buddies that do the same thing, and he thinks that they're his role models. I don't know.
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't. I mean, being on the road all the time, there's no. I mean, when I come home, the last thing I want to do is work. So we are fortunate enough to have people that do nothing but work around here. We have 80 acres here, and it's a lot of upkeep. And we're fortunate to be able to have those guys that keep the shop clean and keep the yard mowed and
No one does my laundry. I do all the housework myself.
and I do want to point out the differences between Dawn's life and my life. Dawn, as far as monster trucks are concerned, it's NASCAR to her. She flies in, she gets her Starbucks, she gets to go to the hotels, she gets to read her book, she goes to the show, her fans tell her she's great, and then she flies home. Me, on the other hand, I get to drive 1,000 miles there, I get to put the tires on, I get to work on stuff. Hopefully we don't break a lot where I have to stay up all night to get it ready for the next show. And then tire it down and do it all again next week.
But after the weekend,
however,
I have to come home to 45 loads of laundry waiting for me at the door, 3 dramatized, high-maintenance daughters, a newborn baby, and
the new rumor, by the way, out there, I just got a call today that somebody said you were pregnant.
oh, and I'm pregnant again, I guess.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
This is the rumor. No, I just got that call today. So I guess they thought you were, at the time, maybe you were due again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to have 4 kids during our monster truck career. And but I was getting to that point. When Dawn comes home, it's all work. It's Groundhog Day for her. She starts working from one end of the house to the other end. And then when she gets to that end, she gets to turn around and clean house to the other end.
Film me every day.
It's the same thing every day for her. And myself, when I come home, I don't want to work. I mean, that's kind of, I don't want to be in the shop. I only come in the shop if I have to get, if I have to get trucks out the door, if I see stuff's not getting done, or something technical is waiting for me, or if I want to make some type of mechanical change or an engineering change on something, I will be in and do most of that work. But when I come home, I just want to see the kids, go work out. You know, I don't want to be in the shop.
See his wife.
See my wife, but it wasn't always that way. I mean, this business was totally built on 7 days a week and at least 8 hours or 18 hours a day. That's the way I used to be up till about what? 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So the first 11 years was and then I guess this is to people that want to be in the monster truck business. I mean, get ready to work. I mean, what people see those 2 hours at the show, that's our fun time. But what you don't see is the other 100 hours that went in from Monday to Friday. And not to discourage anybody, very rewarding business. It's just get ready to work. This is a tougher business than most.